line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at PTM Racing TV live here in Richmond, Virginia. We're about to showcase some of the toughest and the brightest here of the Misfitz iRacing League here as we're getting set to go for tonight's action here at Richmond Raceway. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader, Christian Shaw, joining you guys here today as our field drivers are currently getting settled up down the track here for heat number 1 session. 10 have made the field and we're going to get them squared up here on the track. So let's get down to it as we start on the pole. Ryan Zebu, the 26 is going to be the number 1 starter. Is outside, it's Bryson Collins in the 5. Front number 2, it's going to be Cameron McHone in the 04. Is outside, Matt Mingo in the 9. Final starter, Ryan Dyer, piloting the 83 in heat number 1. Ryan Zebu in the 26 looking to set a time off here, trying to get Bryson Collins knocked off a few lists here. Of course, this big old track, though, this is going to be a very long ordeal, a very tight little track to really get speeds going with and really make the momentum boost with here. Drivers are going to have to test themselves and really test the way of the corners here, because this track is honestly probably one of the harder ones to really maneuver around with the Super Late model more than anything, in my opinion. I've ran here before, I've dealt with this place before, and you know, you can use the bump and run all you want, you can drive as hard as you want, but it's still a pretty technical little track down here. Maybe the next gens are hard enough to drive around here, well, or the trucks or Xfinity cars. You must never have ran here before, because this place will get you going pretty quickly. Bring them down the back straightaway though here. We'll get them squared away here for number 1. Bryson Collins, Ryan Zebu, 2 front runners here. Kevin McHone and Matt Mingo and Ryan Dyer just kind of waiting in the background. Coverage brought to you by W.GG tonight here, race fans. Use the code MRO Racing for 10% off your next order from W. Here we go. Green flag's out. We're underway. Trouble out of the gate. Matt Mingo getting the wall protection out of the start here. Having a little problem or two there. Off to the first sector here, and Bryson Collins with a big burst of speed there at Zebu. Zebu drove a little too wide there off of turn number 2 out of the gate and gives Collins plenty of openings, and Collins gives one right back to him there on the bottom lane. Well, I said it was going to be difficult to run. I didn't say it'd be difficult to pass if they were going to do stuff like that out of the gate. Collins, though, just jamming the throttle, trying to hang on. Ryan Dyer way out of control there, looser in the turn. Collins down low. Zebu trying to hold the outside line, though, as they fight it out for position. Zebu trying to hang down the 26. The 5 drives up a little higher, though. Going to force his mark. Going to force the run a little bit. Both drivers dead in the heat of it. Zebu has a slight advantage there off the corners, as you can see him kind of maneuvering around with the onboard camera, though. McComb watching on. And this is where things get very difficult to really figure out, is now you got Collins literally just starting to maneuver and starting to measle and manage his way around, trying to take Zebu down a few pegs, down a few notches, but you can see he's just trying to get that inside line, trying to get that inside run. It's easier said than done. The 5 knows it here. With the championship on the line, no, this is definitely a big gain for him as he makes a big move coming off of turn number 4. Zebu overdrives and overdrive the power under the hood there. You've seen him earlier getting really loose off some of those corners. And now the setup starting to fade slightly here as he is struggling to hang on. The power and the control these cars have at their disposal certainly is something else, but at the same time, you have to make sure you don't get too out of control or get a little too all over the place. Zebu back at it at Collins. Collins giving him plenty of room down there. A little slight bobble off turn 4 for Collins, and now Zebu back at it there on the outside. Well, so far, stunned me dry. Pretty impressive stuff here by these guys. Oh, and Zebu back in the wall protection. McComb trying to make a move off from it, but can't get around him. Collins gave him plenty of time, but that was the one shot too many. Collins now running away. Zebu is a madman, I tell you, though. This cat won't give up. He smashed the wall twice. He's just driving this thing into the ground like it's nothing. Collins better hang on. One more corner to go if he can hang in there. Off the distance into 3 to 4. Checkers out. And Collins will hold off Zebu. Zebu spins it, coming to the line at the end. Ends up in the grassy plains down there, but not without a shadow of a doubt. A bit of a wild run there in heat number 1. Impressive performance by the boys out of the gate. But again, it's only one part of the series, only one part of the racing. Plenty more still to go with it. Collins walks away with this one. Zebu going 2nd, 3rd to McCone and Mingo and Dyer 4th and 5th. Into your next round of racing. Not the track tech talk here yet. We'll talk about that later on. But Race Bible is going to be the number 1 starter here in the 8. With his outside being Jesse Singleton to 51. And number 2, Patrick Jenks piles at 38 with Travis Johnson in that 55. Final starter in this one will be, of course, Josh Smith in the 08. Now, if I ever had to guess of a driver that is literally looking for redemption, I think I might have to give it to that 8. Race Bible last week pretty much led all but of 2 laps out on the track at Stafford Motor Speedway. He came back and talked to us about it. He's like, if I have that happen ever again, I will have some serious chit-chatting to do with some of these boys, because I do not want to lose that race out like that. You know, and again, we can understand the whole racing mentality. It is racing. We do know that much. But, I mean, for a guy like Jesse Singleton, I mean, you got to believe that he knew where he was at. He knew what kind of racing it was up against. And he did get bumped around quite a bit. He really had no choice. And, again, Race Bible, you couldn't see that at the time. Because, again, you don't have spotters in that car. You don't have anybody telling you where to go and when to go from. You only have yourself and your eyes with a mirror back there. And that's it. So, as a driver, I can see where he gets upset and frustrated, but now he's got to try to channel it and try to channel that race style he had at Stafford and really now keep the frustrations out of it and focus here at Richmond. It's a whole nother walk of light. It's a whole nother ball game, to say the least, and he's got some work to do. into the distance here off of turn number 4 to the green flag. We fly him off. We're underway. Travis Johnson up on the high side out of the gate. Race Bible trying to cave in the bottom lane. Patrick Jenks, walk out for the 38. There he goes. Johnson able to sneak his way into the inside. Goodyear's Racing 55 making a good charge up as the number 8 of Bible tries to hang on. Jesse Singleton back now behind the number 8, and I guarantee you Bible is just thinking I don't want anything to do with him right now, but Singleton is after a championship as well, and that 51 Bass Pro Shop's coming away with a win last time out, would love nothing more than to sneak another one out of the game. Oh, but Travis Johnson though falls into the problematic territory of the corners here at Richmond, and turn 4 clips him out of the way. Oh, Race Bible really loose as well here, coming off of turn number 4. Down turn 2. Oh, maybe a little payback for last week. And Singleton slightly loose, but holds on. Race Bible got him a little nudge in there, but it really was just all boiled down to a hard little racing ordeal there. Singleton taking position away from the number 8 of Race Bible. And honestly, just like that, I'm not sure. Oh, he's trying to hang on. He won't give out. Hanged on for it. He was getting pummeled down there. I think Race Bible is still a little bit reserved on last week, I'm going to say. I was going to say, I'm kind of surprised how much speed these cars are getting on this track. Usually when we see them race out here, they tend to struggle when it comes to trying to make passes like that. And it seems to be there must have been some kind of little update or a little setup tweak that made these cars just a little bit better for that. And now it seems like they're finally starting to grip and handle. You can see the speed and ground that the 8's getting, the 51 was getting. Both guys are pretty much dead even here. You can see Josh Smith doing the 0-8, just probably thinking to himself, man, how the heck did I even end up at 3rd with all these guys kind of crashing out on me? I guess I got a little lucky today. And you can hear the rest of the guys already on the front straightaway trying to catch back up to these folks there on the back end here. White flag is out here as Jesse Singleton's giving Race Bible plenty of room, plenty of times to make this move. Singleton a little loose, way loose though for Race Bible, stays on the throttle, mashing it down to hang on, but Singleton has but just a mere last corner to go, and the checkers are out. Singleton wins this. Race Bible will go 2nd. And he got pummeled and pushed straight around. Look out, hold on. Well, I'm pretty sure he's trying to do a drift or something, but unfortunately he almost ended up on his roof. Thankfully he's okay, but that could have been bad to say the least. Good Lord. Warm-up session is underway here now as we take a look at our race results now, popping up on your screen. And Jesse Singleton with Race Bible, Josh Smith, Patrick Jenks, and Travis Johnson going in the top 5. Singleton, though, definitely looking out for number 1, looking out for this car today. And the Knights start to roll in around the track. Collins looking to try to get back at it here and try to take full control of this race. Ryan Zebu put on a tremendous performance there in the last bit, but with a championship on the line, it's getting very, very tricky to get to the further ends of the sport. field. Just getting some practice sessions underway right now. Just getting settled up back on the tracks here. And you can already tell a lot of them, man, they're going to be really pouring on the momentum and pouring down the speeds when they get out on this track here. But a lot of these boys, I think more than anything, are going to have to really focus in on the big picture overall as we're about to get settled in for your main event now coming up on the show. Here's how we're going to do it. Bryson Collins starts the front row in the 5 with Jesse Singleton in the 51. In row number 2, Ryan Zebu will be in the 26 with his outside being Race Bible in the 8. Row number 3, Cameron McCone in the 04 with his outside is the 08, Josh Smith. Row 4, Matt Mingo in the 9 with Patrick Jenks in the 38. And final stars in row 5, Ryan Dyer in the 83 with Travis Johnson piloting the 55. Race fans, we have got a 10-car lineup set to go. Racing a 75-lap main event coming your way here on PTM Racing TV. And the action is about to kick off. Before entering into the race today, let's take a look at the track tech talk here again. You take a look at this track layout, the style of racing, man. This is going to be an absolute clinic of a madness track here. A lot of guys are going to be trying to find themselves in the right place at the right times. But the one thing I'm going to tell you more often than not is how difficult and treacherous some of these corners will get these guys in their place. This is a very, very tall order for a 3/4 mile long track with the bankings and the way the turns are, progressive bankings in from the back stretch and from the front stretch and through the turns. The back stretch straight and narrowed out, so makes things a little bit more interesting. But with this configuration, it could mean the difference between success or failure. With the long haul, you're gonna have to watch your fuel. You're gonna have to watch those tires, because that is what's gonna win this race out in the end game. Bryson Collins in a hot clash here for the points, and a hot clash to win the championship outright. He has a golden opportunity today if he can do it. But with Langley in the distance coming up, we'll be seeing that for the very first time ever on PTM Racing TV next time out. We also have the championship at Rockingham just 2 weeks away, and off into the distance we go through the corners of turn number 4. Green flags out. We're underway. Dan Moynihan coming on board. Moynihan, coming on board saying short track. So let's go. All right, Dan, good to have you back on board, sir. Off to the distance here in the first set of corners here. Everyone clean so far. Collins getting a bit of an advantage out of the gate here over Race Bible as Race Bible tries to gain back up on the ground. Down below the inside line, look out for Race Bible as he's already looking to try to make up the ground quickly here on Collins. Collins well aware of what Bible will want to do, but does have to tighten up the corner of the exit, which is going to cost him some time here. Race Bible is looking to take advantage as Patrick Jenks comes to a stop. Let's take a look at the PTM Instant replay here and see what exactly transpired here. Came right out of turn number 2 there, and no help there. Just wrecks himself. Yuck's got himself wrecked out. Something you'll see a lot of is just the timing and pacing of these drivers and the way they're coming off to these corners. They know they can't get too crazy or too rambunctious. Well, tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, here in Richmond, Virginia, has been brought in part by our friends at W. If you want to get 10% off your next order, simply type in the code MRL Racing. That is capital MRL and then Racing in your next order from W for good old energy drinks and to kickstart your heart up today, be sure to put that in and get 10% off your next order. First caution to the A main here, and that will settle back up here as the laps are coming down here. Weinhahn saying those late models get real loose real quick. Yeah, they definitely do, my friend, and that's what makes these racing so much fun to watch. They'll have to get some speed underneath those tires and have to really get dialed in. Again, with the tires as cold as they are and the weather changing up, it is going to get a lot tighter, a lot more difficult to deal with. And Zebu looking to get back at Racing Collins for earlier on. Collins outsmarted him then, but now it is Zebu who is back in full charge, looking to get a great burst of speed in, but can he keep this thing from staying into the wall protection? That's the big question. Uh-oh, got a little clipped up by Race Bible, and Race Bible giving him troubles. Jesse Singleton, though, even more troubles. The 51 Cabela's Bass Pro Shops in the grass opens up his own lawn care service. Well, besides cutting a few weeds and a few trims down there, I think we have kind of cleared that up already. We kind of made it nice and pretty until Singleton came in and destroyed it a little bit. I think I might have to give that a -2 stars on the reviews there for job reviews on the on my little lawn care service there, Singleton. And he's like, well, I'm not really trying to do lawn care service anyway. I'm trying to run the race here, my friend. So what the heck you want out of me? Well, I think right now what he wants is to try to keep this thing from getting in trouble. Singleton moving ahead of Mingo. Lost a lot of time, though, having to go into that grassy plains, getting kind of caught off guard from it. Trying to hold on, though. He'll have a little bit of speed and a little bit of pace to dictate around with this kind of race. Josh Smith in the 0-8 right now, looking to get up there with the 8 of Race Bible, as now the field starts to separate out a bit. Grayson Collins in a tremendously huge lead. When you're left all alone like this and you actually can really find and maintain the speed and distance and travel, then it really becomes second nature here. And these drivers know it that well. Gary McHone now coming back into the plays, coming back into the race a little bit, looking to try to keep up some speed, kick up some few notches. You know, I talk about how some of these short tracks really have had to evolve and adjust over time, and yeah, they definitely have changed up, and they've had to get bigger and better over the course of the coming years and the course of the coming days. But you know, one thing that I've always said that I kind of wish we could have back one day was actually the old, very old configuration of really what boils down to be the actual half-mile long track that was once Richmond Raceway. Now granted, you're probably wondering at home, what the heck am I talking about? Well, back in the day, it used to be actually a half-mile long track, not a full 3/4 of a mile. The reason it changed from a 3/4 to a half mile was really, unfortunately, due to the fact, in large part, that NASCAR was in a bit of a change. They were in a bit of a crux, wanting bigger and better tracks, and make so that way they can get more drivers out there and they can get more people to come on and watch the races. Well, unfortunately, though, that ended up being that the old configuration of Richmond that was a half mile long, which I watched some of the racing on it, and honestly, probably was a lot better than anything I've seen on the 3/4, except for like key moments from those days. It's completely changed out, really revitalized the whole field and whole playing field of this track. And again, for a guy that loves Iowa Speedway and loves to watch that race there, you know, would love to see the actual NASCAR Cup Series and anyone else get over there as soon as possible. That track was configured up on this plains and basis, but the biggest difference with this one versus Iowa was at least Iowa had the proper idea to kind of mix in a little bit of what makes Chicagoland so good, which is basically more of a circular kind of track and with that progressive banking ends and turns, which allows for some much harder racing and more incredible battles. Richmond it's kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes you can get really, really, really good racing, and then sometimes you're kind of stuck with hard to pass, kind of hard to drive, and a little bit more difficult to deal with. Appears we don't have that trouble just yet, though, as Cebu continues to fight off and deal with the power and the monks themselves. Caution fly back on out, though. We've got problems down there for Matt Mingo in the 9, and Mingo, well, at this point, I think he's just trying to find a place to hide at this point. Unfortunately, caution fly gets to fly out, so our PTM Racing replay presented by W has now come on the show. Yeah, you can see he just got smacked in the wall and then came off turn number 2, and this bad boy goes for a little spin, twin, and a twirl. Does refire it though. So field now having to restructure, re-rack, restack, and all that. Patrick Jenks is in pit road. You can see Ryan Dyer also down in there. Bryson Collins, Ryan Zebu, and Race Bible staying on out though. They will continue their ride. Dan Moynihan saying, hope the 9 still has a quick repair. Well, I believe they don't give them any quick repairs on this end here. I believe they've taken that away from them as a privilege, so makes it just a little bit more interesting, I'll say. As they bring it right back to the green, charge it back up, we're back underway. Well, Zebu wasted no time getting to the bottom there as soon as he could, with Collins going up top once more. Trying to drive it hard off, trying to drive some quick lines in position here. You see the 0-4 though, Cameron McCone having some company coming up through as Jesse Singleton wasting no time, mashing the gas pedal and hitting that loud pedal. He's got a full throttle assault charge right onto the gate, back down into turn number 1 and 2. He still hangs on for all he's worth. Collins dealing with Race Bible and Zebu, just kind of sneaking their way around the track and around the positions here, trying to hopefully find an opening as Race Bible continues to try to dive down in low and make a run for it. Ryan Dyer and his RD W83 troubles yet again off in the distance of turn 4. He does get it refired, but he is not having a very good time out here. That's just for sure, struggling to keep this thing in control. Why not saying no darn, quick repairs, these guys go hard. Yep, they have to. They gotta race hard. The championship is only just 2 races left to be decided after this one. And the next race we're going to see is Langley Speedway come next weekend. I tell you, we've never seen Langley Speedway on this track or on this show before. It'll be awesome to see because I have actually raced there, if you can believe it. And believe me when I say it, it's probably one of the toughest tracks these guys are going to have to face as the yellow flag flies on out. Travis Johnson spinning out and getting the caution to come out here in front of Ryan Dyer. So with that in mind, to the PTM Mr. Replay, we bring him back up here. Came off down around turn number 4 there, got taken by the 9, if you will. And that's where his problems settled in, so can't quite blame it all on Johnson for just trying to get the car straightened back out, but to the driver's minds, that might not be the same case. When we come back, the action is just still kicking down. We're only halfway nearing the end of this end. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by our friends over at W. If you use the code MRL Racing, you'll get 10% off your next order here from our friends at W. Of course, they offer the best Kickstarter drinks and the best kind of energy drinks around to kickstart your day, get yourself boosted up and ready to go out and have some fun while on the track. So be sure to join us by giving them the code MRL Racing to get 10% off your next order and get yourself some major drinks today. So field right now currently trying to find a prelude to get around Collins, who has yet to leave this position here. Wayne Hunt saying got hit hard. Yeah, he really took a hit there, man. Took a nasty little spill there, took a nasty little hit off the corners into the distance, and now is trying to find a way to hold on down to the edges here. Double file back up into position now here as we bring our drivers back into the playing field, into the zone here. The field is set to go. Reeling them off the corners here in turn number 4. One more time by. Back up to the green, back up to the start. Fire them down. We're back underway. Could get a little bit wild here. Into the distance zone. Collins gets a great jump again. Z-Boom Bible battling hard. This is exactly what the 5 wants, but he knows Singleton's also coming up behind him. Remember last time Singleton had to go from the outhouse at Stafford up to the White House. One of the few drivers that can challenge Collins for that points lead in a championship hunt. Oh, trouble down yet again. Turn number 2. Matt Mingo slammed into the number 9 here once again. Man, this cat just cannot catch a break today. I'm telling you. Honestly, I think he's just finding himself in so many more bad ruts and bad turns here than he has really been able to find any good luck or good turns here. Came off, and this time it's Travis Johnson that gives him a good hit there, and I guarantee you Johnson probably not happy that he ended up taking the hit on that one, or a full blunt of it. Well, I guess I gotta clarify too there, Moinhan, that there is a one instant repair these guys do have, so I have to correct myself. I remember there was one time they only had 0, so I guess I gave them 1 here for this one. Probably a smart decision considering it's been a bit of a mess out here for some of these guys to have to deal with. Opportunity ready to settle back in. Everyone looking to get this one up into the fight and into the fray here. Coming off down the corners of turn number 4 once again. Waiting our green flag command. Structure up. Fire him down. Back at it. Yeah, for sure there, Moinon. And speaking of second chances, Race Bible getting another second chance here right at Collins. Looking to try to take over position. Bible hasn't been to victory lane all season. He had such a close time last time. Oh, but just like last week again, gets sent packing around, and the 8 goes for a twist and a twirl. I guess my broadcaster curse might have just given him the old bad luck. Honestly, though, it wasn't a horrible hit, just a slight little nudge there, but I guarantee you there is going to be a few words being said over the radio in a minute from Race Bible to possibly one that drives that 26 right about now. Taking a look at it, you can just see this was hard racing coming through the ranks. Zebu had nowhere to go though, looking for an opening around the 8. Thought he had a clear shot. Race Bible came down. Zebu stayed low but drove hard or a little bit to get around the 8 and unfortunately tags him. But again, honestly, the 8 did not take any damage. The car took pretty much bare hit of it and really didn't even get a nudge out of it. So his aerodynamic properties should still be okay. Car should still be alright to run out for this one. Yeah, Moinon saying he took him around, kept him off the wall, though. That is true. Kept off the wall and kept him out of trouble. That's more than I can say for some people have done on this track before, and we've actually seen in this race in here. Double file and back up. Collins right now knows though this is getting more and more difficult to have to counter into it and counteract with. He needs to stay focused. Well, they'll just single file now on the restart, so could make up a bit of ground here. Could make things a little more interesting here, as Zebu will have some work to do. But Jesse Singleton as well, right in the mix and in the crux of this here, could be making a little bit of an opening, a little bit of a chance out on the track. Just under 30 laps remaining right now here. Field coming up for the ranks here. Patrick Jenks also looking to make a little resurgence as he gets the car going a little bit harder in the 38. Zebu and Collins back at it, just like in heat number 1. We saw these two literally take each other to the wire, looking to do it again here on PTM Racing TV. Collins trying to hang on. Zebu looking for an opening. Collins knows his race season could be in jeopardy. If he gives a slight opening here, it could be interesting here. Zebu, another opening on the inside. You see Collins though, he was definitely having to watch it there. Singleton doing that same strategy we saw him pull off last time. Patiently waiting. Just waiting for the opportunity to strike, looking for a good opportunity here. You can just tell though the work and the racing that these boys are putting into these cars right now, top notch and tenfold. Collins though has been pretty stable and pretty much lined up, but now even he admits he's probably getting a little bit closer for comfort. Got a little tag there in the back from the wall as well as from the 26, and now Singleton looking to come right down for the edges, come down for the corners. Singleton going to the inside. Zebu gets nowhere to go, nowhere to run off to. Singleton a little loose. You saw him actually work the wheel inside that car. Had to hold on. He worked a heck of a lot of it off the distance into that turn there. Zebu trying to hold back, but you can see Collins trying to run away. Collins now in trouble. The both boys are literally right on him, but both boys also getting right up to each other a little too close for comfort. The speed of the Super Late model can still hang on though, especially on a track like this. But again, with that aerodynamic property, that makes things even more difficult for Collins to have to try to fight and survive with. Zebu charging quickly on the outside. He's making Collins work for this one every minute. Oh, and Collins finally gives up a little bit. Sluice off of turn 4. Zebu trying to get it up. He's forcing Collins to think twice about it now, trying to hang on. Trying for everything he's got. Could he get outraced? Could he get outclassed? He's not going to get it yet again. Travis Johnson almost upside down here. As the caution flies on the 55, yet again, a glorious battle there. Will have to be put on hiatus for just a minute. Johnson did go into a little bit of a roll cage scenario though, and he went for a wild ride here in turn 1. Car flipped upside down, 2 wheels, bicycles it there. Took a huge hit, unfortunately. Johnson is okay though. He has refired the car. He is able to run off on his own merit, but you can just see he was having troubles right here. That car was way too hard in the corner and pretty much nowhere to go. Well, this will give a chance here for Mingo to get a lap back or two, but he's not going to get all of them back. He's still got quite a few laps. He's down at the moment. On saying, geez, top 3 really going for it there. Yeah, they were definitely going, but some of them are going for broke more than others. And you can even see Collins really, in my opinion, was getting way too loose for his own good there. saw the car couldn't really hang on down to the edge and really keep going from there. Well, you can't only help but wonder what kind of madness and what kind of craziness is left. It seems like we've seen it all at this point. Funny thing is, though, we've only just really gotten closer to it. TT 500 Cobra, yep, say waving at us here. Thank you for coming on board. Tires are showing some wear down there, Moynihan says. Yep. Yeah, it's starting to get pretty nasty up there. It's starting to get a little bit tricky over here. And by the way, ignore the comments as well that from that other little spam thing that keeps popping up. We've had that popping up like constantly, guys, so I'm sorry for that. Coming down to the edge, green flag back out once again. If the tires are showing their wear, then these cars are getting very tight here. This honestly could be a tough little ordeal to really work around here. Singleton looking for the momentum boost. Cebu right in that mix. You see Race Bible way back in the background looking on as well. Josh Smith now actually making a little resurgence in the 0-way. Look at this. Josh Smith with a little extra wind in his sail now, looking to try to steer as well. Nobody in the top four has been in pit road. Jenks the only one that went in. It was back at lap 19 that he went into pit lane. Since then, though, it's been pretty much do or die time, and Smith may have been actually saving his tires up for this kind of occasion. Maybe he was thinking these guys would end up in the spot in the same situation here. And why not? Thank you so much for reporting that as well. We do appreciate you helping us out there. Yellow flag back out again though. Patrick Jenks in the 38 once again bringing out the caution. And I'm sorry to say, but this is getting a little bit harder to go around here. I mean, the racing gets good, it gets good, but the problem is there's just, unfortunately, the tire wear is starting to take its toll, and I think some wear and tear mentally is really getting affected with these guys, and that's not something they want there. Almost ended up on his roof though to the 38. Race Bible looked to try to sneak his way around and Jenks was nowhere near set for the corner. Came off turn number 4. He was already gone. Guard goes bye-bye and spins it right in front of the field. That's about all she wrote. Everybody at this point right now just trying to hopefully hang in there, finish this race out, and just move on from there. At the restart, 10 laps will remain on the track, and Collins, Singleton, Zebo, and Smith seem to have some speed left over, but Race Bible waiting in the shadows for his opportunity to strike while he has a chance here. He knows this could be very much at stake and very much on the playing field for him. Off the distance, 10 to go. Green flag, back out. It is going to be a balancing act for the guys up front. Those are trying to hang on to this one for the end game. Cebu looking to the run. Singleton marching the battle as well. Race Bible coming up quick, coming up fast. Caution back out though again. Alright, I'm not really sure where the caution came from or what happened there exactly. Nobody's off pace and nobody's spun out. Not really sure what the heck happened there. they're going to settle them back up here. We got 7 to go. Back on it. Still really not sure where the ghost caution came from or what happened. They said, I don't know if there's debris on the track or what went wrong there, but they are back at it, and the green flag is out again. Laps winding down. Zebu way behind pace of Collins. Collins got a much better start this time and ain't taking full control. Race Bible though coming up through the ranks, making sure Singleton maybe getting a little bit of payback for last week. And Singleton all over the place trying to hang on. Even the fans are a little bit kind of wondering where the heck the caution came from. They're a little bit confused down there. I'll admit that up front too. I am as well. 5 laps left to go. Josh Smith and Jesse Singleton back at one another's gate here, but Singleton hold the bottom. Smith getting a good run on the outside. And Zebu has caught back up to Collins with the final laps closing in. Zebu with only 4 now, 3 left remaining. 3 laps left, 12 more turns to go. Collins, look at this. He's leaving a lot of room up there for Zebu. Zebu is getting a very clean little getaway. Looking to pull this one back at him. Zebu right on the outside trying to hang on. Collins trying to burn the bottom lane in, trying to get something to grip. Oh, but Patrick Jenks getting into it with a 0-4 right on the corner, and the yellow flies out again. And Cameron McHone and Patrick Jenks taken for a bit of a ride there, unfortunately. And once again, a caution will fly. And now the green-white checkers are at stake, and we've got 2 of them coming up. Jenks just brought it right down, got into the 0-4, and you can see McComb was trying to stay away from that wall protection, couldn't quite get out of it. And once again, just an absolute thriller of an ending. Will have to be put into even more of a thriller, possibly. Like I say, this month McComb was really just marching that wheel. He was trying to hang on to it. A bit all over the place, unfortunately, on his end, but he was going for broke. I mean, what else was he supposed to do? Collins, Zebu, Singleton, and Bible now have a fair shake at this one, and it could go either way. 2 green-white checkers up for stake here in this one, so we'll head into overtime. They have 2 chances to get it done. But who exactly will be the one to take full control? Well, we're about to find out. These opportunities don't come often, they don't come too quickly. With a chance and a stake on the line to make or break your season, do you go for broke or do you go for big? Either way, you're going to have to hang on to this one because it could get a little bit wild here. Collins looking to secure a possible chance at immortality and taking full control of the season championship stakes. But Zebu has been absolutely hammered down, perfecting the corners and perfecting the runs. He knows this could be a very big shot up deal coming up for him. Needs to stay focused. Moynihan saying he's saying, let's see the 26 take it, thinking that the 26 is going to be the winner of the day. Collins is tough though, he'll give it everything he's got. Race Bible, we know though, he's pretty much feeling like he's been pushed and shoved around far too long. That could change here, but Jesse Singleton is looking to go back to back here on PTM Racing TV. This could be a big deal for him and his crew. Anybody's race come this restart. Who will be the one to hold the line in? We're about to find out as they bring him down the back straightaway on the back end. Foot the bill, foot the speed, bring the pedal straight into the middle, and let's finish this race. Good jump there by Collins, but Zebu is waiting and just completely taken out. Race Bible clips him into the corner, but Zebu is able to save it. Collins is loose though, off the turn. He's all alone with Singleton. Here they come now. White flags popping on by Singleton and Collins back at it again. Trying to hang on. Collins trying for one last leg up. And one going around town. Travis Johnson's out. Straight to the finish. Singleton trying to get Collins off of turn 4. Not enough time. Collins will hold him off. Racing Collins will finish this one up and take this one away. Catches a huge break as Race Bible clips Zebu in the 26 entering into the turn. And Collins gonna walk away with this one. Fakes a big one out into his name. As he celebrates down on the track here, we'll take a look at our race results down here on the show. Your top 3 will join me here in a minute here, but Lace fans, here is how we finish it up. Collins wins it, Singleton second, third to Smith, fourth to Zebu, fifth to Jenks, sixth to Dyer, McCone 7th, 8th to Travis Johnson, Race Bible goes 9th, Mingo will go 10th. That will round out your top 10 in the bunch. Well, joining me now real quick here, race fans, Josh Smith has not made the call just yet, so we will go ahead and give him the 3rd place moniker. A great showing from him and a great positioning down on the track here. Congratulations to him, and if he will join us here as soon as we're done with Singleton, we will interview with him. But it's time to talk with Jesse Singleton now, race fans. He joins me here in the booth, and Jesse, congratulations on a 2nd place finish here, and a very, very long, hard fight to the end, but it just comes up the slightest bit short. Hold on, I'll see if you can get us down here. Singleton, you got a copy?
10-4, I got you.
Alright, so did you hear anything we said there, or would you like to repeat?
I heard half of it.
So coming away here of Richmond here, coming off a great battle there and a great final concluding there with Collins, and the last 2 laps definitely kind of had you two literally at odds with one another to the end, didn't it?
Yeah, we had a good finish there. Not expecting how it happened, but I knew we were gonna have to race them hard. It's so hard to pass here, you know. But we're able to get second place. I don't know what happened to them. I ain't got a chance to look what happened. But and then Brayson got loose at the end. I thought I was actually gonna have a shot for the win, but he's able to pull a little bit of us on there on that final lap. But other than that, we had a good finish.
Had a good finish, had a good showing here, and I know there was really a lot at stake, and there was a lot going down on the track here for you and the crew. But as the points are getting closer and closer to the end, do you think Langley may be a saving grace for you guys to take on before Rockingham?
Well, I think I'll be pretty strong at both them tracks. I just need to do a little better here at these bigger tracks and the short tracks. So I definitely think we're gonna come out show at Rockingham. Pretty sure we can do pretty good here at Langley.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, as you are going to walk away today here with a second place finish at Richmond, who do you want to thank for all this?
Just my team at SRM. They've been helping me out so much these last couple of weeks.
Definitely for sure. Well, nevertheless, here's come away second place here at Richmond, sir. Congratulations on that, and we will catch you out next time on the track.
Thank you.
Jesse Singleton, ladies and gentlemen, coming away here second. As now Josh Smith has joined us here in the booth. He will come away third out of the bunch here. And Josh, what a performance here late in the run. It looked like the 08 actually had something for the boys up front. A little bit later in this, it looked like it could have gone either way, but unfortunately the caution kind of stopped the momentum train before it got there. What went wrong down there for the crew at the beginning to the end?
Yeah, I was really just saving my tires. I knew it was a long race, one set of tires, kind of the same as last week. Just kind of hanging out, not pushing it, and let the race come to me.
Indeed, letting the race kind of come to you, but also letting this kind of race kind of dial back up and really take control here. I mean, how much of that really late run with the tires helped for that position and push you got there going for these guys?
Yeah, that was huge. The top four of us kind of pulled away for a while there, and I thought I had something for them. I was not wanting that caution.
Definitely not, but in this case it does kind of pop out, but it still allows you at least to still have a chance to fight for that final third place position and a podium you'll grab. So who do you want to thank here for this, sir?
Yeah, want to thank Ridge Nap Auto Parts. They sponsor me, and U.S. Business. They built my gaming PC for me.
Pretty good little ride and pretty good little system as it builds you up an engine to get into this third place finish here. Congratulations, Smith.
Thank you.
Josh Smith, ladies and gentlemen, the 08 coming away third of the bunch. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Brayson Collins is coming in with the race win here today. And Racing, congratulations on that. And boy, what a long, long race this one was. You had pretty much the lead from the start and never lost it out of the entire 75 laps, although it was challenged quite a bit here.
Yeah, Christian. Well, man, like you said, tough race. I came into this race knowing Richmond was one of my better tracks in the super late model, but I also was very much tire conserving, and it almost caught me there a couple of times, especially at the end there when I was still trying to conserve. And I put down some really fast laps on a middle run we had there. I feel like I had enough of a gap to try to push harder, and then we had this couple cautions towards the end, and it caused me to just keep pushing harder. I was getting looser and making mistakes, and I actually made a really big mistake off of two on that green white checkered restart. Over, I saw them spinning behind me, and I hit the gas too hard, focusing on my mirror, and got really loose. And I thought Jesse was gonna have a chance at me, but luckily I just preserved the tires the whole race, kept the car in one shape, and ultimately, yeah, like you said, I mean, I led every lap out there, and the heat race was really fun. I actually started in the wrong gear in the heat race, and so I started in first. Usually, it's between a first or second gear restart in these cars normally, and I started in first gear, and I didn't fire off very well. I got behind Ryan there, and then he plowed a little bit tighter off of, or I don't think he plowed tight off of two. I think he was just being cautious because these things are really loose to open a run. I got to his inside. We battled it side by side, and uh, he made a couple mistakes. We never made contact, but he tagged the wall a couple times, and second time I took blame for it because I felt like I ran him a little too tight off corner. But I got lucky. He tagged the wall a couple times in that heat race, and I was able to get a pole. And then it was just playing defense from here on out.
Playing defense from there as well. And, we talk about how kind of crazy it was late in the run. We did see some of the cautions kind of popping up in between. And, boy, it seemed like right before you had a couple of those cautions, this car actually was starting to get a bit looser and starting to get a little bit more hard to handle. Was it just because of the hard racing, or really because of just having to deal with that amount of strategy and positioning you were put into?
Everyone else was loose. I was tight. Other than that one incident off of 2 on that GWC, a couple times off of 4. I mean, it might be characterized as loose, but honestly, that's just how the car was pushing off of 4. Was just you were kind of pushing more sideways. That's just how you kind of exited 4. So really, I mean, everyone else the whole race was complaining about being loose, and I felt really tight from the beginning. Obviously, like I said, these things are a little more free at the beginning of a run, and so I was probably a little more cautious of that than some others maybe. But ultimately, I felt tight the whole race, and that could be a combination of like my steering ratio or whatever. But I felt like it was really hard to enter the corners. I felt like there was definitely a few corners where I would blow it, and that's when a guy like Zabo would get to my inside or my outside, or Race or Jesse. So I it felt tight to me, but it was definitely loose there. Um, there was definitely a way to find how to get it loose, and I found it there on that GWC restart. And like I said, most people were complaining all night about being loose, so that just kind of factored into the strategy of. I personally, like I said, I thought these things felt tight from the get-go, so I figured it would get tighter on a run, and it did get tighter on the run. But then there at the very, very end, it you can overdrive it and get it too loose. So that's kind of how the strategy played in, was expecting it to get tighter, 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 and then suddenly there at the very end it became loose.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, I mean, at least it was a little bit loose, a little tight. It didn't seem to matter for you tonight because this one still pops up in victory lane today. So with that in mind, who do you want to thank you for all this?
Yeah, I got to start off with Dark Horse Racing. Thank you to Quentin Haley, Justin Haley, Kaz Gralla, Ryan Ayers, Ryan Martin. I got to thank the boys back at the World Online Racing Championship. If you're looking for a Tuesday night, Thursday night, or Sunday night dirt oval, asphalt oval, or road racing league, head on over to the World Online Racing Championship, discord.gg/capital H6, lowercase ZQ, capital AAU. I got to thank Patrick for putting on the league. Sorry to hear about his uncle and aunt who passed away. So prayers to him, and it was awesome to see him come out here, and hopefully he had some fun tonight, was able to kind of decompress. So sorry to Patrick on that, but we appreciate him for running the league and being dedicated to it. As well as Ryan Dyer. He was also here tonight. He's also one of the owners of the league, so thank you to him. Thank you to you, Christian, for broadcasting. Always great to have you here up in the booth. I got to thank Dynamo Designs. If you're looking for an iRacing paint scheme starting as low as $5 or a logo of any kind, he also does iRacing fire suits, iRacing helmets. Hit up Dynamo Designs today on Facebook at Dynamo Designs 02. Check out Limeade Media on Facebook and on Instagram at Limeade Media, and their subsidiary accounts at Limeade Film and at Limeade Graphics. He's a professional photographer. He does some graphic design stuff here and there. He's awesome at every single thing he does. So make sure you guys go check out Limeade Media. EVC Automotive, and then the Keystone Corner on Twitch and TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. Make sure you guys go check out the Keystone Corner at the Keystone Corner. I believe it's at Keystone Patrick on TikTok and Instagram on those platforms. So make sure you guys go check him out as well. And go subscribe to Work TV on YouTube, occasionally broadcasting and commentating league racing events. They just got done broadcasting a season of events there, so if you're ever looking for another broadcaster, go check out Work TV. And once again, Christian, thank you for being up here in the booth week in and week out here with Misfitz Racing League, and we'll see you next week and the week after as we finish the season out.
We will see you next week here at Langley Speedway, next on the roster, and then Rockingham coming up to the championship race here. But nevertheless, Collins, congratulations on this, and we'll see you next time out, bud.
Thank you, Christian.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bryce Collins in the 5 pops away with the victory and the win here to end out this one. So, race fans, that will all but do it for your coverage today here, presented in part by our friends at W. Again, use the code MRL Racing for 10% off your next order there from W. Big thanks to them for supporting. Thank you to all those that tuned in to both our shows today. We have one last show to cover tomorrow night. And then hopefully we'll get the big super money races in June 3rd and June 4th. So stay tuned for more info on that on our Facebook end. From all of us here at PTM Racing TV, though, race fans, we appreciate you for everything. And we will see you guys next time on out.